How's your team doing? Any team changes or injuries we should know about?
Mid-table, I think, we're a little bit sore after our exertions on Wednesday night. Great effort by us, and obviously we're a little bit sore in mind and body probably, but we'll recover them all today. Won't do a great deal today, to be perfectly honest. Don't think we've lost any bodies from the other day. Eric Peters was a little bit tight in his hamstring, so we're hopeful that he's going to be okay. Clearly, Mark Hughes was a doubt before the game, but we felt he was okay to come onto the bench. Didn't really want to use him in the end. We needed his defensive work late in the game, and he just got a little ball on the end of his toe, which opened his knee up a little bit. So he was a little bit sore yesterday, but hopefully he'll be okay today.
Anybody coming back?
No, not yet. We've got Ibi Afellay playing a game today, which is good. That'll be his first game since the injury. So if he comes through that, hoping to get at least 60 minutes into him if we can. If he comes through that, then he's back in the fold. He's available for selection.
No Arnautovic. How big a miss is that going to be for the next 3 games?
Well, it's a big deal for us, clearly, because Mark was one of our game changers, one of those players that can have a positive and immediate impact on games. So when we haven't got that threat, then it's got an impact on us. But we've got good players to come in. Got a number of players on the bench. If you look at our bench at the moment, it's really strong in terms of talent. So we can compensate, I'm sure.
Leicester, strange season for them. Can't put a foot wrong in Europe, but away from home, especially in the Premier League, just not happening.
Yeah, and I think the away form is the more surprising thing about it. I think it's always difficult to defend your title. As a player, I was involved with teams that went into the following year after a league title, and it was always very, very difficult. And probably everybody remembers the famous Sir Alex Ferguson tactic of putting names in an envelope and saying that the names inside were the ones that were going to let you down the following year. So I'm not sure if there was any names in it, to be perfectly honest, but I think the tactic worked, and there was always a focus on that second year that was the year that was going to be the more difficult one. So I don't know if that is part of it, but I think their away form is surprising, because the way they played, the way they set up is counter-attack football. So you would have imagined that their away form would still have been strong, but for whatever reason it hasn't been.
Still can do it at home, obviously, as they showed against City, but really odd how a team can do it at home, but just not away from home.
Yeah, I think maybe teams have looked at the style of play, and it hasn't changed. They've changed personnel clearly, but they're at their best when they're able to draw teams onto them, and clearly with the threats they have on the counter attack with the likes of Vardy and what have you, then that's when they have their best moments, and that was certainly the case against City, when obviously Manchester City are a team that expect to dominate and play in the opposition half, but to be honest, that played into Leicester's hand.
As you say, when you've got the likes of Vardy and Mahrez, you would think they've enough to get out of trouble, because people are starting to talk about maybe the champions as being relegation contenders. Would you say?
Yeah, no, I don't think there's any fear of that whatsoever. At the moment, they're struggling for a deliberate continuity in terms of results, but on any Saturday or match day, you can see the ability they have and the threat they have. So I've no qualms or worries about Leicester surviving this year. I don't think they have. They've probably got a lot of frustration that they haven't started as brightly as they would have hoped, but I don't see them being in any trouble whatsoever.
When you look at your next 2 away games, hugely tough over Christmas with Chelsea and Liverpool, do you just feel the need, does that put a little bit of pressure on you at home to get something out of this game?
Well, prior to the game midweek against Southampton, obviously we had 2 home games and we wanted to get maximum points. Obviously the circumstances of the Southampton game conspired against us to a certain extent, but for us to manage that game through to a 0-0 draw after losing Marco to sending off. I thought, sure, that's in a great light. So although we didn't get maximum points, I have to say probably felt like after the game, given the circumstances. So going into against Leicester, it was one that we felt we needed to get points on the board. That hasn't really changed, even though we didn't get maximum points against Southampton. So our focus on this game is exactly the same as it was. It's an opportunity, it's a home game, so hopefully we'll get it done.
What's Lee Grant's situation? Because I think his loan deal's due to expire shortly. There's a lot of speculation about whether you can make it permanent. Where are you up to with that?
As we were really, we would like to do something at the moment. Derby are asking too much money, so I think there needs to be a little bit of common ground. That doesn't seem to be the case at the moment, so we have to be careful that there's a value on Lee, and we appreciate that. He's done absolutely fantastic for us, but we're not going to be held to ransom. It's a value, market value on Lee. We know what that is, and at the moment we're a little bit far apart. So if it continues, then we'll have to have a look at other options probably.
5 clean sheets in recent games. I mean, he's obviously contributing to that. How much is he enjoying his time here, would you say?
Yeah, great. He came here with no promises, with no guarantees of playing, but circumstances allowed him to get in the team, and when you get an opportunity, you've got to take it. Lee's certainly done that. He's been absolutely fantastic since he's come here. His form is good, it's consistent. It's helped us at the time when we conceded too readily, and he's come in, settled everybody down, and we've been better as a consequence. So we'd like to get it done, but as I said, we may come to a point where it's not feasible to do.
And in terms of the Christmas arrangements now, you're not playing Boxing Day, are you? So does that impact on your plans for Christmas Day? Are you in playing Christmas Day?
Yeah, we're in. We just move things forward. In comparison to other years, it looks on paper a good Christmas festive period, but then you look at the opposition that we're up against, it's quite difficult. But I think it's not as intense in terms of the distance and the time between games. That's more manageable. So we've got a little bit of an advantage there. So we have the ability to have a similar working week that we normally have. So leading into the game, we'll have the same preparation. We will be in on Christmas Day because game day -2 we're always in, so that falls on Christmas Day, so we'll be.
Your old club Chelsea on New Year's Eve, 6 points clear at the moment. Are they looking like the team to beat this season, would you say?
They look very strong. They've fallen into a formation that's working for them, and they're working hard. Obviously, when you get outstanding players working hard, then you've always got a chance to win Premier League games. They look like they've settled on the formation and the people within that formation. And I think that always helps. If you have continuity in terms of selection, then that will always give you an advantage. So that confidence in the system and in the personnel that are making it happen, that's key to them at the moment, and that's why they're able to go into games expecting to win, not hoping to win, which some other teams you sense are probably hoping.
And soon be time for the window. I'm sure you're planning and making your lists of possibles and probables. How's your list looking?
We've always got lists. It's never-ending. It doesn't really change throughout the year. Obviously, you have the opportunity to do something about the list that you've acquired. So we're constantly looking at opportunities, and I would imagine once agents have got over the Christmas period and they're focused on the job in hand, we'll get calls and things will start to happen, I'm sure. But January isn't easy. You've heard it time and time again. It's not easy to go in the market and get the right quality of players that will improve us markedly. We're not looking for squad players. We're looking for players that will come in and have an immediate impact in the first 11. So,
do you feel you need somebody still?
Yeah, I think we've got areas that we can help the team in. So we'll look at those opportunities if we have to bide our time and wait till the summer, then that's what we'll do. But I said before, you can do good work and not get players over the line, but that work that you've done in previous windows can help you in following windows. That happened with Shaqiri, so there could be situations like that where we have to just bide our time and wait for the right things in the summer.
No problem with money, the chairman's happy, he's told you there's money in the bank?
We've got an amount that we can spend, but it's not going to be significant amounts in terms of probably what everybody else is spending. But if the right player becomes available, we'll be able to do it, I'm sure.
Thank you.
Mark, obviously Ranieri did really well last season winning the Premier League, and Antonio Conte is doing very well at Chelsea and coming to the league and got his team playing really well. Do you think there's something about Italian managers and the way they play their football and the style that suits the English game better maybe than the Spanish game or the German game? In terms of
well, quite possibly. I think usually, historically, Italian football is more conservative, it's more defensive minded, so I think if you're trying to build a team and build a club and get success relatively quickly, then you build from the back and move forward and try and get a platform to enable your good players ahead of the back four, back five, wherever it is. You need that platform to allow your expressive players to play with freedom, and I think that's what they concentrate on and what they're good at. And maybe that's one of the reasons that they seem to do well in the Premier League. At times we're probably guilty of being a little bit open as a world league. I think if you, in comparison to other leagues, maybe that's the attraction. That's why everybody wants to watch the Premier League, because there's always goals. There isn't too many teams that are negative. Everybody tries to win.
Obviously, Darren Hadfitch not in the team, that really gives other people an opportunity to make their mark over this Christmas period for the next 3 games. How are you feeling about your attacking options?
I've got good attacking options. Defensively, we're a little bit skinny at the moment, in fairness, and we'd like a number of the other guys to come back. Obviously, we're missing Jeff Cameron, who's always a good option, can play in a number of positions, and when Jeff's not available, then we do look a little bit short. For Baz, he's not available still, so we've only just got back Ryan as well. So we seem to bring players back, but then we lose other players from different positions. So it is what it is. It's a strong period at the moment, and the game's coming thick and fast, and you have to get through it. But attacking wise, our options are good. So although we're disappointed that Marco's not available, we've got good options that we can use.
And just one last one. How much do you enjoy the Christmas period? Obviously, there's a lot of games, there's a lot of football. Obviously, not other leagues don't do it like we do it here, but is it a period of the season that you enjoy more than any other period?
Yeah, I think so. I think we're quite unique that this is part of what we do, and it's the tradition of British football, and we just get on with it, and then we just postpone Christmas for when we can enjoy it at another time. We have to go in, we have to train on Christmas Day. I know a few of the foreign lads scratch their heads and think, what the hell have we done coming to this madhouse? But it is what it is, and actually playing sport and watching sport and watching good games, because they're always full houses, and there's a great atmosphere around games over this period. So I love it. I used to love it as a player. So although you worry that you can't maybe eat too much, maybe that's a good thing. It puts a check on everybody.
Thanks, folks.
Okay.
Thanks a lot.
No problem.
Good luck, Mark.
Sorry, Dave.
Thanks a lot.
Yeah.